Catch the latest news on our website tribune.net.ph and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune Digital Edition and Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarcito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just click on the link in this video to join.
Most highly successful entrepreneurs left their jobs to start their own businesses. Case in point, Kassy Braganza, who grew tired of her day job for what promised to be a lucrative six-figure generating venture power profile biz accelerator in less than 90 days. That's lockdown notwithstanding. Good afternoon, I am Vernon Velasco. Learn from your business coach how to set up a profitable consulting and coaching business online in this episode of Kalingang Katribu. Hello, Kassy. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Vernon. Nice to see you guys. And hello, mga katribu. Tama ba? Tribu.
Yeah, katribu, yeah. First, Kassy, let's set things straight. So, yung power profile, is it a masterclass of sorts? And what is your business model ba?
Okay, so it started as a 12-week, 8 to 12-week masterclass as a course, as an accountability course, teaching and sharing people how they'll be able to leverage and optimize their LinkedIn, right? And eventually it has now evolved into a 12-month program wherein I will be there to help consultants, majorly, of course, consultants, because a lot of people have lost their jobs, right? So consultants turns into online business. So if you're a consultant, coach, a trainer, mentor, service-driven entrepreneur, it could also be a doctor, right? Anything that has to do with one-on-one conversation and driving a business to a certain outcome, right? So what I do is I help them turn their offline endeavor into online. So it's coming from start to progress. So a power profile business accelerator basically comes from the word power profile, right? So meaning you as a person, you have the strength, right? You have the strength, you have the power, you have all the tools that you already have to help other people to grow. It's just that majority of the people don't know how to actually absorb or actually divert their offline businesses into an online. Kasi sanay tayo, di ba? Like what happens is you are a consultant perhaps and you're so used to being in this cubicle or you going to the office or how to actually strategize and get your clients right on board on a not just on a one-on-one scale but also one-to-many. So there.
Yeah. But how did you come up with this idea? Did you start the venture alone?
Yeah, it's really me. It's really me until I learned more about the business in terms of scaling also and having also your own set of people, right? I have my own team now, so I have a team. I started with there's again entrepreneurship is. It's such a roller coaster of sorts that it will progressively allow you to grow, right? And it's really, really pivotal that it's something that you love doing because even if you are, having all this profit, it doesn't mean that every day is happy, diba? So there will still always be moments wherein, of course, there will be mistakes. And from those mistakes, you get to learn also from there, which makes you and turn you into a much better consultant and a coach. So yes, I did it just alone. It happened in the thick of pandemic. It was around, was it March? Yeah, it was around March. And then we were just newlywed. My husband and I were newlywed around December at the time. And we had our business, which is the After Six Club, a transformative and progressive events company, learning events company. And it was highly, highly what do you call it? It was highly dependable with the co-working spaces. And naturally, because the co-working spaces also had to close down and all the activities in the world shut down, right? So we really had to pivot right away. But what's nice about that also, though, that even if, we had, there was a halt, right?
Yeah.
I had this vision already on turning it into a digital endeavor at around August. Pero na-move lang all the plans kailangan February at the time. I had to really, really move them like super Speedy Gonzalez at the time. And in 9 days, we were able to, I was able to have the first capital again of the business. We got our first $5,000. So that's around 350,000 pesos in $9 through LinkedIn. But really, in generally, it wasn't really more of because I knew how to do it online. Actually, no, I wasn't really sure how to do it online. But I had a mindset that, okay, Kassy, what were the things that you have done offline, right, that brought in the business and you executed it according to what the goal was? So I realized that majority of which, actually 99% of everything that I was doing throughout all these years were LinkedIn. So pretty much I had to take a step back and, realized it first, like, okay, I had to take stock and assessment. What were the things that you have done that brought you to a certain outcome? So instead of, focusing on just outcome, I also looked into the process on how from start to the first outcome that I wanted. So it's really more of the process. So that was actually that. It was just that. It was really that. And later on, as you gain the money, because I had debt then, because of course a startup, we all know that when you have a startup, there's just a lot of things to learn, the technology side and everything and stuff like that. But because of the pandemic too, it made me realize that you really actually don't need all these bells and whistles, because at the end of the day, business is what? It's all about people, right?
Yeah.
So pretty much that was it. Yeah, so that's it. And then later on, as we gained the profits, we learned also, okay, this is where I'm learning, like, okay, accounting side of things. So how do we do our taxes? And then next, how do you do like this? I mean, eventually you get to know that it doesn't mean like the old entrepreneurial mindset, or maybe a lot of people also commit this mistake that they think that entrepreneurship is like, okay, once I have the money, I'm going to splurge right away and just do whatever else. But in truth, right, what happens is in entrepreneurship, once you get a little bit more profit, or that profit, you invest it back in your business. So yes, it was just more of like a one-time thing. I mean, I did it alone for a while, but now I have a team with me who's supporting me into this endeavor. I have my own graphic designer. I have my web designer, but I also know how to do those things. It's just that now, of course, as you do more, right, you have to start delegating. So it's a different phase, talaga. I mean, like, yeah, that's how it works.
But Kassy, how do you assess this junction? Are you the sole prominent player in this space?
What do you mean? What do you mean by sole prominent player?
Kayo lang ba ang gumagawa nito?
Yes. I mean in general.
In general, yeah. Prominent in a way.
Of course not, right? No, I mean, the reason why I'm here is because I'm teaching, right? And I'm guiding also consultants, trainers, entrepreneurs, mentors, right? To also bring their consultancy business online. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating an ecosystem wherein it's also a pool of consultants, speakers, trainers, service entrepreneurs, mentors, right? Who are also diving into that and also helping other people to grow. So basically, I'm replicating myself, right, with my values, because my values is really more of, in order for you to earn more, you got to give more. In order for you to expand, you also have to expand your knowledge, your focus, your mindset. So a lot of those things. So no, I would like to say that no, I'm not the only one, because that's selfish. So for me, it's really creating an ecosystem wherein I get to replicate myself, but not entirely myself, but rather what they love doing. So a lot of consultants are now turning into online coaches and online consultants as well of respective businesses and respective niches. So yes, just to answer the question, no.
It's also interesting to know, nasabi mo nga, follow up doon. It's also interesting to know na it's not about being selfish. So I want to have your view on this. How do you compete and cooperate?
Compete and cooperate. I don't compete.
Okay.
First and foremost, for my belief system is totally. I mean, in this road of entrepreneurship with a lot of mistakes and a lot of things that we have learned in school in the past, I have grown into this belief system, which I also learned from a mentor as well. Someone who hired me and trusted me with his business as a consultant, right? So that was where I figured. And he really clearly said to me that it's already innate in me that I also pass on to my mentees that competition are not there for really competition and be like sharks will eat each other and stuff. No, competition is basically having allies who are doing the same things, who are educating people as well and sharing your knowledge, encouraging one another, right? So for me, there's really no competition in terms of, at least that's my belief system, right? It's one my belief. I'm not competing with any other person and the other people. I'm competing only solely with myself and how I do things, and right, the integrity, the walk you talk. I mean, it's only me, right? So yeah, so that's how I do it. Number two, in terms of competition as well, I would like to believe as well, and I would like to say that I am here not because I wanted to have competition, but rather I want to encourage more women, right? To not just be like me. I mean, I know there are smarter people, that I can help, and that's actually amazing. And that's okay. Because for me, my vision now is really, we need more wealthy women in power and in leadership, right? So the more, the merrier. So if there will be more women entrepreneurs, right, who are holding the space of leadership and helping other people also grow their businesses, I'd say it's a lovely competition then, right? Because you're only competing with yourself, and for the betterment and the benefit of everybody else. You're all allies. So no.
Beautiful. So your pitch is centered around how to turn your network into paid high ticket clients. So let's talk about it. How do you do that?
Okay, so the most important piece here, which my mentees and also the community would always say, is by serving your soul-aligned clients, by being with your soul-led clients. Because if you have your soul-aligned clients, you will be fully supported, not just you as a coach, right? But also being in a community wherein you all share, if not exactly the same vision, but you also share the same mission, right? So with me, again, my mission is I wanted to turn your network into high ticket clients with a plan, and my mission is to have more driven and ambitious men and women, but looks like more women are gearing towards it, right? I mean, my cohort, there are more women, right? That we need more powerful leaders as well to help other people to grow and support their families. So yeah, so that's actually the calling, and that's number one. Look for your soul-led, soul-aligned clients. Distinguish who are the people that you wanted to serve, who are the people that you wanted to work with, who are the people that you wanted to also help. Also, number two, you have got to know also what are the things that you yourself, what are you good at, right? Take an assessment, take a stock on what are the things that you have done that you can actually teach that has also brought in an outcome, right? And then take stock also what is the process towards gearing or getting into that certain outcome. So those are the two things. And then number three is your mindset, right? Mindset play 99% of everything that we do as entrepreneurs, actually as a human being in general, right? Because again, these rules are made because people have set them. Right? These are boundaries that people have set. So if you build your own economy, which goes to the number three, right? If you build your own economy, you get to distinguish who are these people. If you focus on who are these people really that you're serving, right? You get to really alter and you get to build a system or what do you call it? You get to build an economy or a space wherein all of you are helping one another too. So that, and then number four, it's about the pricing, right? So pricing play a huge role as well, because a lot of people have self-worth issues. And for me, a lot of, I mean, especially Filipinos are so fond of discounts. Filipinos are so fond of all these, and I'm guilty of that too, because that is the money story that I grew up with. That's the environment that I grew up with. That's the environment that we keep on hearing, right? So for me, again, going towards to the mindset, to the worthiness, that's another thing, right? So there are a lot of healing components. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be like a therapy kind of thing, but it's really more of like awareness on, okay, where am I at, who I am, what are the things that I have done. I don't have to recreate the wheel. Something that I would always say to my mentees as well, that everybody is born with this certain greatness already. You don't have to recreate the wheel. You don't have to start from scratch, because you have all these experiences, right? We're all multi-potentialite. So gone are those days when they say that you have to, just dive into a certain position in order for you to be like this, and then, stay in this lane. You can't be this, or else you're a junk. I mean, and daming ganon. It's not how our reality, is like anymore. So how do you get to have your high ticket clients? Again, it's about, your mindset. It's about your self-assessment. It's about knowing who are the people that you want to serve and work with. It's also knowing what is this business model that you are going to work with. For me, my business model is the care model. Like, I really want it. I'm a high touch, high caliber kind of person that even if I give you the tools, I would still want to, all of us to help each other, right? Because my views may be different, a little bit more different from yours, but it's an open space, right, wherein we get to discuss, okay, this is what you're real. So it's a support system. So have a support system too. So nobody is right or wrong, right? But there is a journey that you have to dive in and understand. So a lot of things that I've grown so much in this entrepreneurial path, really. So yeah, so those are the things that how you can turn your network into high ticket clients with a plan. Of course, having a plan on how to do that.
But let's talk about the drivers though, Kassy. As you said, many people have no idea how to use their influence through LinkedIn and online mediums as drivers. So how is this a perfect fit for them, this program?
Well, regardless of what social media that you use, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Clubhouse, oh my God, ang dami na masyado. And would you believe Snapchat is still alive? So those are the things, right? So even regardless of what driver or what medium that you get to use, the most important piece here is really knowing where are your people hanging out. That's it. Where are your people hanging out? Now, for me, I just want to say that it all started from LinkedIn, all right? Because for me, there's a certain culture in LinkedIn that I love so much, and the culture of giving, the culture of giving or generosity, the culture of mentorship, the culture of transparency, because you'll be able to see everything already on their profile, right? So if they lie, come on, it's easily, you can trace it easily, right? So because of this certain culture that LinkedIn has, that's what made me fall in love with it. Made me fall in love with it, made me really, really love that platform. But regardless, again, I just wanted to encourage everyone here, right, that regardless of what social media handle that you choose, simplify, make use of one, hang out where your people are, or where the people that you want to serve, right? And be there, and then simplify. You don't need to jump from one driver after another, thinking now, oh my gosh, everybody's on Instagram, dapat sa Instagram din ako. Oh my gosh. So be good at one space. Like, I have a mentee also who's there with me. And then she said, okay, Kassy, I'm maybe LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. That's why I joined your program. But my people are more on TikTok. So now she's getting heaps of clients on TikTok, doing what you love most, right? So for me, I won't stop them to saying no, what I'm teaching is the same thing. So no, that's not how it works. What it works here again is by encouraging them that, okay, now tailor fit it according to where your people at and what is it that you love doing or would want to be in. So again, there's no perfect driver. You choose your own adventure, you choose your own, but stick to it and simplify it. Stick to one.
So boosting your online presence is one thing, and marketing your ideas is quite another. And the way others market their business is through, as you said, hard selling and robotic prompts. So what is your proven strategy to to basically attract all the right high-performing clients without being heavily dependent on these passe methods?
Simple, be human.
Yeah.
Be sincere, be human. Majority of the time, people are seeing already, messaging. I mean, I'm sure you have received this too. Like people like messaging your inbox saying, "Hey, real estate. Hey, insurance. Hey, like this, right?" So every time that I get to receive those things, I would always respond back to them and say that, hey, why don't you check out my profile first and talk to me like a human being instead of being a flyer? Would you talk to your best friend this way?
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, so for me, it's in general, just be human. So yeah, talk to a person like a real person and not like this as a flyer, right? Get out of this entire mentality of you standing outside, you have a flyer and just giving it out to randomly with no intention, like with no intention, right? So I'd like to invite you guys to start connecting intention with more intention and really care about other people, right? Like see what are the challenges that they're having. Because here's the thing, right? If you have been throwing spaghetti at a wall and hoping that it's going to stick, you're wasting a lot of time, right? You're wasting a lot of time. So go straight to what matters, right? From cold to soul. But how do you get to do that? By talking to the people that you would want to help. So if the problem of this person, okay, example, right? If let's just say you, Vernon, right? You have a problem with your dog, example, with your dog, right? Naturally, you're going to a vet. You're not going to go to a neurosurgeon, right?
Sorry?
So yeah. So that's the thing. So you go straight to, if this is your pain point, go directly to those who can help you, which is, of course, the vet. Now, right now, the vet, of course, is going to treat you or have a diagnosis or check on your dog as a dog, not thinking as a cat. Diba? So it's pretty much that. So I'm just, giving a little example in here that goes straight to what matters. We have this, have this sincerity and care about other people and really talk to them. Like, what is the problem that aim to solve? And you're not there to talk to them just because you want them to become your clients. No, you're talking to them because you wanted to know if this is something that I can actually help, really, right? If I can really serve you. Because here's the thing. What if, I'm just an example, right? What if you are serving someone and then ang problem nila is not, has nothing to do with your zone of genius? You won't be able to help them the way that you were able to help other people, right? So let's just say they come to you asking for, hey, Kassy, I need help because my dog needs help. Do you know how to, cure my dog? Right? And then just because you have a dog, it doesn't mean that, oh yeah, I can cure him. No, that's not how it works, right? So naturally you're going to say, hey, maybe it's better for you to go to the vet. So, but what if, right? So what happens here now, the other example is if someone comes to me and like they're a consultant, maybe like say a consultant, right? If they're a consultant, a trainer, coach, or entrepreneur, service-driven entrepreneur, right, who comes to me, which is majority of all of my mentees, right, they would say, hey, Kassy, how can we turn our network into high-ticket clients with a plan? How do we get to turn our offline endeavor online? How do we get to find our own solo line clients? How do we have a spacious schedule like the way you are? Because I only work about 4 hours in a day, less than 15 hours in a week sometimes, right? So how do you get to do that? And this is something that is close to my heart that I know how to do. I can pass it on to you, right? So I will give you all the tools, but at the end of the day, again, 99% of that, it's mindset. I can give you all the tools, sure, but if you don't have the mentality of doing the work, well, that's something else too. So I'd rather say, in terms of how do you get to do that, again, be human. Have the care model.
We've talked about migrating your business online. When we come back, Kassy will talk about the rough and tumble of starting up her own write-up after a short break.
Magsha-shopping na lang ako!
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Hello, can I get the following? One pink chair, bed sheets, na pink yung sofa, tapos slides, size 8, pajamas na blue. Oh, don't forget my...
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Wait lang, okay ba yan?
Anything at the SM store, ma'am.
Call to deliver. Call.
Kuya, pwede rin ba ako magpa-deliver sa ate ko sa Taguig, tapos sa friend ko sa Davao, tsaka sa... fiancé ko sa Lipa? Okay ba yan?
Kahit saan po, pwede kami mag-deliver.
Call to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Call na rin kayo.
Call to deliver.
And we're back. Before we took a short break, we asked Kassy about the hurdles that attempted to set her back on her way to success. So, tell us, Kassy, what was the... Nasabi mo na ito kanina, pero please elucidate further. What was the hardest part in the early stages of the company's growth?
Oh my gosh, the hardest part. Perhaps maybe the hardest part is actually always starting.
Yes, correct.
It's always starting, right? It's
Yeah.
always the anticipation of, of all these things that's going to happen. And then the next thing is, of course, your imposter syndrome. And then there will always be like, all these what ifs. It's your mindset, your self-belief, your self-worth, like all these things are just going to pop out, right? And then there's going to be a lot of self-issues. And oh my gosh, there's heaps of them. But here's the thing, right? How to actually get to combat that or get rid of it? And you can really totally get rid of it, because for me, I also believe that if you have imposter syndrome, it means you're stretching and you're growing because you're having more awareness of what are the things that you are avoiding or maybe don't want to do, but you know that it's going to help you immensely and, get to assess. One thing to combat that is really zoning into, okay, what is this that you love doing, and going back to the mission, the why, right? So again, it's getting rid of the outcome goal. So let's just say you want to become a 7-figure entrepreneur, right? You wanted to have, a spacious schedule, like whatever may be. So I would ask always my mentees these questions. Like, number one, define what does success mean to you really? What does it entail? Number two, what does ROI mean to you aside from, the obvious answers, right? So what does an ROI mean to you, right? Because again, if you get to know like what are the milestones, that these micro milestones, these little things that are big, that will bring big impact to your growth. Having to redefine that makes you want to keep on going. It will make you keep on going. So the one thing is, of course, number one is knowing again, what are you good at? What do you love doing most? Number two, what will make you wake up excited?
Yes.
Like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this every freaking day and I'm so excited, especially when I see, and then when I go back to the entire knowledge of being part of their journey. When I see my mentees, like, again, it's not just the monetary, it's not just the monetary return, but having to see my mentees, like, oh my gosh, see, it just lights me up. Like seeing them, facing interviews, maybe like this. Number two, it could be, they're scared of writing their thoughts. And then now they've been like, sharing. Three, it could be public speaking. It could be a lot of things. These are the successes that you should also take stock on. And it's not just about the monetary return. Because again, if you are so focused on the outcome, you will always be chasing for money. But if you're going to gear up yourself towards enjoying the process, right? Gearing towards to that outcome, right? You let go of that outcome. I mean, it, of course, right? You can hold it. The vision is there. Sure, hold it, right? But it's really the process that will bring you there. And at the end of the day, what I truly realized too, which was hard for me at first before, was simplifying things. Like, you don't need bells and whistles apparently. You just really have to go back to only 3 things. one, you have a product, right? You have something to offer.
Yes.
Number two, you have a payment gateway, right? Whatever that may be. Number three, you have social media,
Yeah.
right? Which is the people that you serve, right? So itong mga funnels, Zoom, all these other things like website and these are nice to have. These are accelerants to automate your business or to accelerate your business. But really, it's simplifying things. So yun. So again, going back, what was the hardest was really the start, because it's so easy to compare yourself with others, wanting the same success that they have already now without, you not even realizing, oh, wait, they also started somewhere. So how did they start? Oh, yeah, it's the three things that they have.
Yeah. So this is more like a passion project, but when did you first get the sense that this venture will actually develop a significant client base?
Oh, wow. This is when I stopped chasing for money. That's number one. I stopped chasing for money. I started going for what really is soulful for me, what really makes me happy. Like every day, diba? Like, what is this all about? Number two, it's healing my money story and my belief system as well, right? Because again, now for me, I now know that entrepreneurship is a long game. It's a long game filled of a lot of risks, and you have to prepare yourself to lose. But of course, you have to detach yourself from the money. You have to detach yourself from that kind of outcome, because what happens here, you have to really truly believe, like with me, I truly believe that money is a tool, abundance is a feeling, and I'm so freaking abundant right now, right? Because I get to speak with you right now. I get to, share this audience, and I get to share my belief system to the rest of the others who are listening right now. So that's actually that. Also, I truly believe too that, with your belief system, honestly, I knew okay, here's the thing. Again, I stopped comparing myself and competing with other people. I just started looking at where am I at? What am I doing? Am I growing? Because what you focus on expands. So what is it that I'm doing? And how am I helping my mentees too? Am I helping them really, or am I hurting them? So there are a lot of things. So yeah, so I hope that answers that. It's also by knowing that you can be whatever you wanted to be if you really hold on to that vision really, really well. They're really, really tight, right? And then the rest of the others is such an enjoyable journey and process. Kasi pag pinilit mo lang pala siya, if you really, if you just like try to push things that is not according to the timeline that the universe or God is giving you. I don't know if you guys are religious. I'm not, but I'm just saying, like, I truly believe in that. Now, there's also such a thing as timing as well, and knowing that it's going to happen. So, but again, having to know that it's going to happen is also different from knowing and doing. So you still have to do the work in order for that to happen, right? So yeah, it's a give and take kind of thing. So you can't just like make things happen because you're seated down. You have to make things happen because you want to make things happen. So what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do to make it happen? I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Last question, Kassy. You've talked about technology as the great accelerator and equalizer.
Yeah.
So personally, how does this speak to the strategic direction of your company?
Oh my gosh, my business is still super simplified. As in, like, it's still super simplified. My team and I are actually revamping the site, revamping a few things, but still simplifying all those things. Because again, it's so easy to be drowned with all these wonderful things that you see online right now. Like this one. Oh my God, I wanted to have that wonderful background that you're having. It's all moving and animated and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But going back, right, why are you going to stress yourself on having to have that tomorrow, right? And then why are you going to do that, right? But you have to zoom back into, why do you want to do this again? Oh, it's because you have a message.
Yeah.
So, okay, so have a message, right? So that's it. That's actually what matters most. It's having a clear audio. So maybe instead of focusing on wanting all these animated stuff behind you, and they get the oh, I want to do that and stuff like that, right? Parang, okay, what are you gonna do with all these things if you don't have a nice audio? So maybe what you can do now is maybe invest on an audio first, and then figure things out along the way as you do things. So imperfect action actually makes you learn more, right? And makes you know what kind of accelerant you need. Because sometimes then also, I've seen this several times, right? There are a lot of entrepreneurs out there who would go for, Kassy, I want to have funnels. I want to have, a podcast. And then, okay. So if you're going to have that, what is the outcome? I mean, what do you want to come out of it? And they were like, oh yeah, because I want to monetize it. Oh yeah, but what is your plan to monetize it? Why are you going to monetize it? What is it for? Where are you going to house that money? There are a lot of questions that you need to ask. Unlike knowing exactly, right? Okay, I want to help consultants, right? Bring their online endeavors, right? Their offline endeavors online. Okay, let me take you there. Okay, I'm going to ask you again, what are your offers, right? What is this problem that you aim to solve, right? So go back into what really matters, and it's really mark your messaging, and then how are you going to address that to your people, diba? So again, before you dive into a certain accelerant, Facebook ads, Google ads, Pinterest, all these things, right? All these other shiny object syndrome, right? Before you dive into that, ask yourself first, what outcome do you want to come out of it, and what is the process that you're going to do, and why are you going to do that? Who are you going to help, and how is it going to help, right? And if you think that it's going to magically give you 7 figures tomorrow, okay, wait lang. Again, plan. What are you willing to risk? What are you willing to lose?
Beautiful. Kassy Braganza, founder of Power Profile Biz Accelerator. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
And that's it for today's Kalingang Katribu. My name is Vernon Velasco. Good afternoon.